Speaker.
I call Marama Davidson.
Tēnā koutou katoa, Mr. Speaker, and the House. I stand to take the third reading speech for the Green Party today for this bill, which is most definitely a bill to privatise state housing. And it is a bill that is exploiting, shamefully exploiting, the current housing crisis to do so under a guise and under an excuse of the provision of social housing. So this law is an absolute travesty to good governance, and I'm proud as the spokesperson for social housing in the Green Party to strongly oppose this bill. We have already seen, as many members have pointed out, exactly how this government treats our lower income people. And we have already seen how this government favours the upper 1%. So we do know, and we do have good cause to understand, that this bill will again favour public and private companies and private developers. So I wanted to raise one of the things which one of the previous government members talked about, which was partnership. Partnership with whom? This bill will strengthen partnership with offshore corporations and with private corporations. Where is the partnership with communities? Where is the real partnership with the people of New Zealand? For example, in Glen Innes, the lower income people have been displaced from their communities under this government to free up land which is now nice land next to water, which is now has houses upwards of $600,000, much more expensive, and that is what has happened to Glen Innes, and they absolutely do not feel that this government has worked in partnership with them at all. I also want to acknowledge many of the elderly and sick from the Glen Innes community who have been at the forefront of their community's campaign to have a voice, and their community's voice that says they have not been part of any partnership process under this government. So why do we have any other reason to understand that this bill is absolutely a flog-off of state housing in favour of private ownership and in favour of the upper 1%. This is not at all a solution to the current housing crisis. And because the Green Party proudly upholds our core values, including social responsibility and appropriate decision-making, it makes me even more proud to say that we strongly oppose this bill, which goes directly against those founding kaupapa of the Green Party. I did want to turn also, as the spokesperson for Māori Affairs, I do want to concentrate and turn to the impact on Māori. Māori have never collectively benefited from privatisation of state assets, and we operate traditionally and proudly and to this day as a collective, and Māori have never collectively benefited from privatisation of public and state assets. Yeah, I'll say it again. So I too ask, why is the Māori Party supporting this unprecedented transfer of public ownership assets into private ownership? And I would have liked to have seen them take a call. I do understand that some of their excuses for supporting this bill includes the very tiny possibility that some state housing land and assets may be taken by iwi. That is the tiniest possibility. That is not enough of a justification to support this bill in terms of the trade-off of giving so much unprecedented power to ministers for privatisation. That is, in my role as Māori Affairs spokesperson, I will say that that is not enough, not by far enough justification for the Māori Party to support this bill. because this bill, we know that privatisation has never collectively benefited Māori. We also know that the houses are in such a terrible state that not only may iwi not want them, but they're not getting them returned to them for free. They will have to buy them, and they do not have first right of refusal to buy them under this bill. And also, they will be up against competing offshore larger mega corporations who have resources beyond what we can imagine. So I highlight that there is such minimal justification for anybody who thinks they are supporting Māori aspirations to be supporting this bill. The trade-off is far too huge for Māori people collectively, and collectively Māori have always traditionally been held strong because of the way we operate together. So I wanted to be very clear, and I ask, if that's what the Māori Party think that this bill will enable iwi to do, have they actually read this bill? So, Mr. Speaker, I did want to come here and make those very clear statements on behalf of the Green Party. We absolutely oppose this unprecedented, extraordinary transfer of power to two ministers to be able to do with what they wish with our public legacy, with our public state homes, that absolutely, as I mentioned yesterday, does open this government up to allegations of corruption. So not only are we flogging off a legacy, a proud generations worth foundation legacy of ensuring that families have a good, safe home to live in, but we are also flogging off a legacy of good governance. We are also flogging off a legacy of New Zealand doing the right thing for our people. So absolutely we are opposed to this bill, and then I did want to highlight again and be very clear that as the spokesperson for Māori Affairs in the Green Party, this bill absolutely does not support collective Māori aspirations, and so I ask the Māori Party why they are supporting this bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.